The Golden Years. Sarah and Tom met when they were young in a small city park. Sarah loved reading beneath a large oak tree, while Tom enjoyed sketching people walking by. They started talking about books, dreams, funny movies, and the future. Hours passed without either of them noticing. From the very beginning, they felt something special. The first months of their relationship were full of excitement. Every day felt like a new adventure. They walked hand in hand through busy streets, shared ice cream, laughed until their stomachs hurt, and believed nothing could separate them. Love seemed bright, effortless, and endless. They were convinced they had found the person they wanted to spend their lives with. Soon they moved into a small house with a cozy garden and began creating a future together. The first years were happy and simple. They enjoyed short trips, learned new recipes, watched old movies, and dreamed about everything they still wanted to do. Their relationship felt as strong as a healthy oak tree. But life slowly changed. The excitement of the beginning became quieter. It did not disappear, it simply took a different form. Instead of constantly searching for new adventures, they learned to live ordinary life together. Tom began working longer hours and often came home exhausted. Sarah sometimes felt lonely, even when they were sitting on the same sofa. Their conversations gradually changed. Instead of discussing dreams and possibilities, they talked about bills, work, shopping, and household chores. One evening, they argued over something small, a forgotten carton of milk. Yet both knew the argument was not really about milk. Tom felt overwhelmed by responsibility. Sarah felt ignored and unheard. Their comfortable routine suddenly felt heavy. A few days later, Sarah quietly asked, "Do you remember when we first met? Everything seemed so simple." Tom smiled sadly. "I remember the park. I remember believing we could do anything." "Now," she replied, "our lives are filled with work, traffic, and responsibilities." Looking at her, Tom realized they had not lost their love. It had simply become hidden beneath years of routine and pressure. That realization led them to an important question. Could love survive after the excitement faded? Could it remain strong through ordinary life? Instead of avoiding the conversation, they became more honest with each other. They stopped arguing only about everyday problems and started discussing what they truly felt. They admitted they missed spending quality time together and wanted to reconnect. Slowly, they discovered an important truth. Love is not only a feeling, it is also a choice. A lasting relationship is like caring for a garden. At first, everything grows naturally. Later, the garden needs attention. You remove weeds, water the flowers, and protect them from storms. Without care, even the strongest garden slowly fades. So they began making small changes. They created regular moments just for themselves. Sometimes they walked through the garden without talking about work. Sometimes they simply sat together watching an old movie or reading quietly in the same room. Tom learned to listen carefully instead of trying to solve every problem immediately. Sarah learned that sometimes Tom needed understanding more than advice after a difficult day. Little by little, they rediscovered happiness in ordinary moments. Morning sunlight across the kitchen table, comfortable silence while reading, holding hands during a movie, or sharing a simple cup of tea. These moments were no longer exciting like the beginning of their romance, but they felt deeper and more meaningful. They became the roots that kept their relationship strong. Years continued to pass. Their love changed again. It no longer burned like a sudden fire. Instead, it became like glowing embers in a fireplace, steady, warm, and dependable. One autumn evening, they sat beside the fire, listening to the gentle crackling of the wood. Tom brushed a strand of hair away from Sarah's face. "I don't think we lost our love," he said softly. "I think we simply learned a different way to hold it." Sarah smiled. "It became something stronger," she answered. "It stopped feeling like an adventure and started feeling like home." So, can love last for many years? The answer is yes, but only when both people choose it every day. Lasting love is not built by excitement alone. It grows through patience, honesty, respect, forgiveness, and countless small acts of kindness. Real love is not about keeping the butterflies forever. It is about choosing, day after day, to value the person beside you. In the end, the strongest love is often the one that feels most like coming home.